Hi, I'm Brent Laurenz, and this is 5 things you need to know about early voting in North Carolina. The first thing you need to know about early voting, or as it's sometimes called as one-stop absentee voting, is that it was first put in place for the 2000 election, and it will run from the third Thursday before the election to the last Saturday before Election Day. So over a period of 17 days, it's usually offered and available. Second thing you need to know is that any voter can use early voting during this early voting period. Not only can you vote early, but you can also use the early voting one-stop sites to change your address or update other registration information. Also, the locations will vary by county, but at least one site will be open during the early voting period in each county. Some of the bigger counties like Wake or Mecklenburg or Guilford will have upwards of 15 to 20 early voting sites available as well. Third thing you need to know about early voting is that it's been a huge success. In 2012, last year, we saw over 2.5 million voters use early voting, which accounted for about 57% of the vote. So more voters voted early than actually voted on Election Day. 2008, we saw similar numbers, 2.4 million voted early, which equaled about 55% of the votes cast that year. And what this really does is, if you look at Election Day, it really cuts down on some of the lines and problems that we see in other states because we do have such a robust early voting effort. The fourth thing you need to know about early voting is that it's extremely popular. A recent poll by the Center for Voter Education showed that 85% of voters supported early voting, and 76% said the early voting period should be left as is and/or lengthened. So only 23% supported actually shortening the early voting period. And the fifth and final thing you need to know about early voting is that it's actually under threat by the General Assembly. There's some lawmakers and some proposals to actually shorten the early voting period down from its current position of 17 days to 10 days or even down to 6 days. Which could lead to problems at the polls and long lines like we saw in Florida in 2012, where they cut early voting and had a huge rash of problems with long lines and things like that. Subsequently, Florida's actually gone back and added those days back to early voting, kind of owing to the fact that it was problematic in 2012. I'm Brent Laurenz, and that's 5 important things you need to know about early voting in North Carolina.